welcome in. How can I help you today? Yes, we do eyebrows. And were you looking for wax, microblading, plucking, shaping, threading? Okay, sure. Have you been here before? Okay, so let me make a profile for you, and then I think we have room for walk-in, but just let me check, okay? Let me first look at my appointment list. Yes. Okay, I do have 2 openings this afternoon, so no worries, we can definitely take you. And you said you've never been here before, correct? Okay, let me just make a new profile. Okay, what's your first name? And your last name? That's fine. Okay, and your date of birth? Yes, so for any microblading service, we do have to verify your age. And what's a good phone number for you? Okay, and a good email. Okay, and do you have your ID with you? Okay, I'll just take that. Thank you. And I'm just gonna write down some information. This is our consent form. I'll just have you sign it, but let me just fill in your information, okay? Okay, I'm just gonna take down your ID information. Okay. And then, so I'm just going to show you right here is all of your information. Just verify everything's correct. Here is where you're going to sign to opt into microblading services. Here is the waxing services, and then down here is all other services. So that will be plucking, shaping, threading, all that. So if you could just sign there. Okay, thank you very much. You just input your information. Oh, and then there's your license back. Thank you. Okay. All right. And did you want to opt into our text message program for updates, appointment reminders, coupons? Okay. Text and email? Just email, sure. Okay, perfect. All right, now you said you haven't been here before. Have you had any type of eyebrow service done before? Okay, so you did mention maybe wanting a little bit of microblading done today, so I'll go over everything with you. But first, we need to talk about eyebrow shape. So I'll do a consult with you here, and then I'll take you to the back to one of our tables so that we can actually get to start on your brows. Okay, so regardless of which service you're getting done today, you are going to need a couple of things. The first is to decide a shape for your brow. So I'm going to show you, I have some pictures of models of different brow shapes, but what I recommend that we look at first before anything else is this chart. So this is the chart that I show everybody getting their brows done. It looks at the eye shape, as you can see, and then recommends kind of what a brow would look like, a certain shaping brow would look like based on that. So I'm seeing that you probably have almond eyes, it looks like to me. Yeah, so I would recommend going with something with like an arch, and we would arch it towards the edge. We could also do a mixture of these, so like maybe something a little bit thicker for the almond eye, but outset an arch a little bit in, more than towards the edge. Do any of these shapes like kind of appeal to you more than others? Okay, so like this one that I have drawn. Okay, so based on that, let me show you. I have 3 different model photos. So the first one is this one. You can see that it's a really similar arch and shape. And you would probably want to set that arch about at the outside of the pupil there, close to the edge, but maybe in a little bit. These are pretty thick. You do like them? Okay. Then I have this young lady, and she has the same sort of brow, but it's a little bit shorter. As you can see, the arch is just a tad higher, and I would argue that they are a little bit thinner actually. I do think that this one looks a little bit more natural. I do like the thinner look. Yeah, just not thin, because it's not thin at all, but the other one was a lot thicker for your facial shape. And then the last one that I would say has a similar shape is this young lady. Now this one is a more drawn out brow, I will say. More of a wide set eye, but still shows the thickness in that arch at the top. Okay, so you're thinking maybe something like this. And you wanted to kind of do the thinness of hers. Okay, that's great. Yes, that's perfect. All right, I have what I need. So if you just wait here, I will have someone come out and take you to the back, and then we'll get started. Okay. Okay. How you doing? Feeling okay still? All right. So got you all set up at the table here for your brows. Okay. So I have my tools down here, and I'll just kind of be working through those as we go through everything, okay? Before we get started, do you have any questions? Okay, so I know the shape you have in mind. I have my wax strips here. I also have my tweezers, my brushes, and I have my Derma-planing razors, and I do have my microblading tool. I know you said you wanted to do some microblading, so we can probably, I think, maybe do a couple outlines or just a couple hairs to show you what that looks like. But I do like to have a separately planned appointment for microblading customers, okay? So we're not going to do a full microblade today. Okay, just want to make sure you're aware. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to set this towel just down down here in front of you. So if I just kind of drip any wax or anything like that, you're good. And then I'm going to take this one. This is a head towel. And I'm just going to wrap this a bit above your eyebrows. So just in case, you know, don't get anything on you. Okay, we just don't want to get anything on you. Okay. Go, all good? All right. I'm going to start out with some essential oils, and this is actually mixed with a little bit of local numbing agent, so when I'm doing your brows it's not going to hurt. I have pretty much every essential oil scent that you can think of. Is there any one that you prefer over another? Okay, yeah, I do have that one. And is there anything else? Okay, so we'll just go with the eucalyptus. Yes, I do have lavender. And then I actually have a stress relief one that has both of them. Want to do that one? Okay, this is the one I have. Is that going to work for you? Stress free. Okay. Okay, good. So I'm just going to start off by spraying your brow. Okay, I'm just going to spray that and clean it. Okay, now I'm going to go in with the essential oil, and I'm just going to dab this on your brows. Okay, good. And then I'm just going to use this roller, and I'm just going to roll this. And this will just help to distribute the essential oils, okay? Okay. Let's just give that a minute to set in. I'm going to set up my tools, alright? Have you ever had any dermaplaning done? Sorry, I do have a vehicle going by there, so I apologize. Okay, so you have. That's good. Okay, I'm going to just add a couple of these droplets. Okay, and this is just to keep the wax off of your skin. As we do wax a little bit. I do plan to wax your brows just a little bit. And did you want to do a tint today? I did bring some pomade. If you just wanted me to pomade them at the end. And then if you like them, then we can tint at another time. I have a couple options as far as the pomades go. Alright, so we can try that if you like. Okay, so I'm just going to brush your brows out. How did you hear about us? Oh, okay. Yeah, I know who that is. Okay. So I'm now gonna just grab this is just a regular brow pencil, and I'm just gonna do a couple lines on your face to line up all of the angles that you did for your pick for your brows. Here. Okay, and then I'm going to go into the brow area and outline where I'm going to put that arch. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to start doing is I am going to wax just a little bit, And let me go ahead and grab my wax strips, and we'll just clean up around the brow a bit. All right. So you did mention during your waiver, when you were signing your waiver, that you had sensitive skin. So I'm going to use some brow strips, wax strips on you. It does help. It's a much more natural remedy, and I don't have to worry about getting it too hot on your skin or anything like that. Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna start off just going ahead and brushing this out. I'm gonna place the first strip here. Okay, just gonna put that. Perfect. Let that sit for a second. Okay, I'm gonna 1, 2, 3. Okay, that didn't hurt too bad, did it? Good. All right, I'm just gonna brush that again. Alright, I'm going to add another wax strip on the bottom this time instead of the top. The top looked really good. Okay, just gonna. Okay. And then on the count of 3, I'll just rip that off. 1, 2, 3. Okay, just brush that again. Alright, now we're just going to do this eye, okay? Yes. Okay, that's no problem. Yeah, I'll need to look up in that, but I think it's fine. Your natural shape's pretty good. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do the top strip of wax first, just like I did on the other eye, okay? I'm going to go ahead and apply that. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and all right. Then I'm just gonna brush that out. Okay, and then the last wax strip for the bottom. Okay, I'm just going to remove that. 1, 2, 3. Okay, perfect. And how are you feeling so far? Just want to look at this closely with my light here. Okay. A couple little pieces that I'm going to take out with tweezers, okay? And it won't be painful at all, so don't worry. Okay. Okay. Not too painful, right? Okay. Okay, you shouldn't be able to really feel that. Okay. Now, I am going to use some scissors, and I'm going to brush the brow upwards, and then from there, I'm going to go ahead. Sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and trim the hairs down a little bit. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna use these little scissors here. Okay. And I'm just gonna trim up those areas. precise scissors. These ones. I'm going to just trim up a couple of those little pieces. Okay. Alright, so we've got those cleaned up pretty nicely. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to go in and do some microblading. Or I'm sorry, dermaplaning, not microblading. And I'm just going to use this razor. And it's not really sharp, but it will just clean up some of those edges that you're worried about. Alright. I'm going to do the center. Okay. And then I'm going to go down just a little bit right below. I do apologize for the construction noises. It's kind of hard. They're putting in an extra driveway and not avoidable at this time. But hopefully next time when you come they'll be done. Oh, it's not bothering you, good. It's still a sleepy afternoon, right? I know I always get so tired towards the end of the day. Okay, then I'm just going to run this over here, trim down just a little bit of very thick brow, so. Okay. I'm gonna just brush your brows out again. Okay, here we go. Okay, now, did you still want to do some dermaplaning today? No? Okay. Yeah, I recommend just setting up an appointment for that so that I can kind of go through everything with you and, you know what I mean? Much better. Alright, I'm going to spray off those lines I drew earlier. I'm going to wipe off your brows, get them nice and clean. Okay, perfect. Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead and just outline them. You wanted me to do some pomade too, right? Okay, so I'm going to do a couple of tools and then you can purchase these yourself at the grocery store or on your way out of here, whatever you want to do. I'm going to start with a stylus defining pencil. And I'm going to go ahead and just do a little outline on the brow for you. Okay. Just around, not on the hair. Okay. Feel okay? Alright, and next I'm going to go in with this tinted brow gel. Just looks like that. Pretty easy. And I like to use this one in brunette. I'm just going to gently go over the brow with this. And this is going to do some tinting, but we're going to finish it out with the pomade. Alright, just want to kind of show you your options. For the pomade, I'm going to go in with a little brush that's got an angle. For you, I'm using the e.l.f. Lock on liner and brow cream in espresso. I'm gonna get some on my brush, just like that. You don't need a lot. And I'm just gonna outline your brow for you, okay? And then I'm gonna turn the brush this way and go in through the brow like this. Short strokes to look like hair. Right down the middle. So you have a straight line on the edges. Okay. And then I'm going to go in with just a little brush like this, and it's really just to blur all of that to make it look natural so you don't have really sharp lines. Perfect. Okay. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of mascara to your lashes, if that's okay. Sometimes I just think you don't see the full look of the brow if you don't have your lashes kind of in full check, so. And then the bottom. Yep. Perfect. Okay. And I do have this as well. This is a lighter shade of the brow cream, so you might like that one more, but either way, they're both really, really good. So you should check it out if you want to use something like that in the future. Okay, now I'm just going to hit you with a little setting spray there. Alright, and you are all ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and just pack up my tools. Feel free to stay as long as you like. I know sometimes immediately sitting up makes people lightheaded. I will set all the tools I used on you at the end of the table back here. You are welcome to either leave those for us to throw away, or you can take them home with you, as they are not reusable, obviously, for another client. So we do offer those in case you wanted to use them. Okay. You're very welcome. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and if you'd like, I can, on your way out, I can schedule you for the microplaning. Yeah, that would be great. Okay, I'm just going to remove the towel. Then I'm going to remove this one from both of you. Okay. Alright, you're all good to go. Any questions for me? Yeah, I just wouldn't use anything on the brow for a few hours. Just let the redness kind of subside, and you'll look normal in a couple hours. I did put some of that setting spray, which has a skin calming oil in it, so that'll help. And like I said, I can schedule you for the microblading or whatever you want, okay, on the way out, or you can just wait and call when you're ready. You're welcome.